My name is Christian Givens. I am one of the managing partners of the Givens Group. We serve buyers and sellers and investors in the DMV area who are looking to grow wealth, who are looking to have investment strategies, and looking for a safe place to call home.
Awesome. So, could you tell us about your journey into real estate and what inspired you to create Givens Group?
Yes. So, my journey into real estate, I like to jokingly say I was born into it. My father was a master plumber, and then he got into contracting. So, I would say, well, probably when I was in middle school. After that, my dad started flipping houses in DC, where he's from, and he had a couple of properties in Maryland and Washington, DC, and Baltimore as a landlord. So I was around it a lot, and I just remember, like, when I was in college, I was obsessed with the BiggerPockets podcast, and I would listen to it every day. I bought my first house really young, at 22, and I had a really good experience with my agent, where I purchased my property down in Virginia, and I was just like, I can do this. This is an easy job. Like it's not easy, but that's kind of how I got interested in
That's
it. Yeah.
awesome. So, purchasing your first property at 22, what was it about that experience that, made you think I could do this?
Uh, I don't know. I think for me, it was like, okay, we told our realtor the things we needed, we liked, and she helped us identify our goal based on our goals, what we were looking for. And it was a very fun transaction because she was just fun to work with. And I was like, this is actually kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
you get to just be out in the world and you're not at a desk all
Right.
day. And for me, being at a desk all day just kills my soul. So I was like, I could get down with that.
Yeah. And I bet you get to meet so many different types of
Yeah.
people too.
Yeah. Definitely.
Awesome. And then looking back on your journey in real estate, what experience do you think have had the biggest impact on the way you approach your career?
Yeah. Can you ask that one more time?
Yeah, so what experience have had the biggest impact on the way you approach your career?
Okay. Yeah. So for me, the things that have had the biggest impact is I fully believe in treating people the way you want to be treated. There's a lot of bad actors in the world, not just in real estate, but in the world. I've seen my own family be taken advantage of,
Mm,
my mother, who's older. And for me, I just want to deliver a service that is above reproach, that has integrity built into it. I don't want
mm-hmm,
anyone to question my intent, why I'm doing something for them.
mm-hmm,
So, my biggest thing is I had one client who, this is when I was newer in the business. I really needed the money. I had a client who did not close on a deal. And I was so frustrated because I was relying on this check because I was like, I
mm,
need this money. But I could feel that they knew it. And from that transaction, it made me realize my need is second place to my client's need. It doesn't matter what I need. Like, my job is to serve my clients.
right.
Like, their best interest comes first always. So from that experience, for me personally, was the big aha moment where I was just like, oh, my clients don't ever need to know my financial needs. So put it to the back, no matter what. So
Yeah.
now I can proudly say, like, that was a long time ago one, but my clients, if something falls apart,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm like, great. What's next?
Yeah.
Or when are we ready to look again? Or are we shelving this for a year? Are we shelving this for
Mm-hmm.
2 years? Are we decided we don't want to work with each other? I'm not reliant on anybody closing a deal, and I want my clients to fully know that I'm invested in what's best for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like putting their needs at the forefront.
exactly.
Awesome. And then social media created, we talked about the influencer agents.
Yes.
What advice would you give to realtors who want to build a presence online, but
Hmm.
making sure they're still focused on being great at their actual job?
Yeah. So my biggest advice would be to know your craft. Outside of social media, great. That's how you get clients.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I get most of my clients. But I also know my job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know the contracts. I know how to speak. I have business etiquette. I am a professional ultimately at the end of the day. So
Right.
I'm not just a social media agent where I'm online. I'm just doing posting these pretty house tours. I'm posting this funny
Mm,
content. No, I know my job.
yeah.
So I would say become a student of your craft outside of social media. Learn the contracts. Learn what it is to be a professional in the industry. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how you present yourself outside of the world of social media matters. I would say even
Right.
more. And one of the bigger things I would say is our network really matters. Network really matters. So connect with other agents.
Yeah.
You know, like we're going to run across each other and we're going to have to conduct business with each other. So make good relationships. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
you be besties with everybody, but have your name be respected.
Can't be like one way on social media and then
Exactly.
everybody sees you a
That's
different way in person.
I've come across a couple of those,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Most of the people I know, thankfully, are not like that, but there are a handful that you're just
Yeah.
like, they're nothing like
Yeah. And you don't ever want to be that person either.
that. I definitely don't want to be that person.
Yeah. So you often hear from clients that who they see online is exactly who they get in person from
Hmm.
you. Why is that authenticity so important to you when it comes to building your reputation and relationships?
Yeah, I just cringe at fakeness. So I don't know. I can't stand meeting people and having a perception of them and then just being so disappointed. And
Mm,
I vowed that I would never be that.
yeah.
So who you see online is who you will see in person, whether it be shy me or if I'm going through something personally, or I'm just like not in the best. I'm like, hey, I'm not in the best headspace. I'll be very upfront.
Yeah.
You know, I just try to. I don't know. I just think it matters because at the end of the day, if you're trusting me with such a big transaction, you need to trust that I'm actually going to show up and be the person that you pay, you hired. You know, so when clients are reaching out to me, I'm now basically interviewing them because I'm like, they already see who I am and they're
Right.
just confirming if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, are you not crazy?
Yeah.
Are you not going to kidnap me? Or are
Right.
we actually going to close the deal?
Yeah.
So that's fun for me. I'm just like, now I'm interviewing you as a client. So yeah.
That's so interesting. And then you mentioned that social media is how you get some of your clients.
Hmm.
And then you also mentioned that the way one realtor generates business doesn't necessarily have to be the way that another realtor does it.
Yeah.
How can agents figure out what approach is best for them?
Yeah, I would say you have to test the waters. So if you have an inkling that you want to try a certain way to get business, then there's like a list of 50 million ways you can get business. Social media, door knocking, cold calling,
Mm-hmm.
FISBOs, expireds, blah, blah, mailers,
Yeah.
events. Test it, and you have to give it a good amount of time too. So I would say if you're
Mm-hmm.
first in the business, maybe find 3 to 4 things that you have the capacity
Mm-hmm.
to test for 6 months, but you have to have the capacity to do it for that
Yeah.
6 months. And if you are finding that you're enjoying something more than the other thing, then focus on that. And I think that's the big key to avoiding burnout for me is I enjoy doing social media. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like work. I love going and touring the homes. I love editing. I've been editing since college and I've been doing social media marketing since college.
Mm-hmm.
I had an internship in that. So for me, it's like, I love this.
Yeah.
And if I ever get burnt out from it, I just know because I'm just doing it too much. So I just like, let me slow down a little
Yeah.
bit and resume. I don't ever stop fully, but,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of have to sometimes pace myself.
Yeah.
But I would say test out as much as you can, figure out what you enjoy, what you feel will be sustainable
Mm-hmm.
to make you last in the business.
Right. I think
Yeah.
sustainability is so important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then what do you think separates a realtor who is simply just focused on closing transactions versus one who is genuinely invested in their clients?
Yeah, I would say the biggest difference is if you are focused on the client solely, then the money will follow, the business will follow. When you're focused on the transaction, it's like next, who's next? It's like
Right.
almost like you're rushing through it
Mm-hmm.
and you're not taking the time to listen to your client's need and
Yeah.
to figure out who they are as a person. I think the most powerful thing in our business is connecting. That's how we can
Mm,
get other clients. That's how we
right.
sustain relationships. So I really believe that you should make an effort to connect to the core of who your client is.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you're going to click with everybody or everyone's going to
Mm-hmm.
be your best friend, even as clients. But for the most part, like I enjoy 99% of the people who I work with. There's always an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But I just take my time to really get to know them, who they are, and
Yeah.
what makes them click.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think when you get to know someone too, you get to know how they like to be approached, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. I kind of
Yeah.
learn their communication style. I
Right.
know what they like to eat. I learn what they like to do, where they're traveling with their friends, and I just
Yeah.
invite people into my world too. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing this weekend. This is what I did last week.
Yeah.
I'm going here next week. I'm going here next month.
Uh-huh.
I just like to just to see how
Yeah.
people are doing as in general, you
Right. And
know?
then making those long-term connections.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
matters. Like I'm always sad at the end of a transaction because I'm
Oh,
like, dang, now you want to,
yeah.
So
And then tell me a little bit about your client appreciation events and why has creating that sense of community become such a big part of your business?
yeah, for me, it's a good way for me to stay in touch with my clients. It doesn't just fall on the client to forget to check in. It also can fall on us because we get so busy as well. So for me, it's an intentional time where I can be like, hey, I want to see you. I want to catch up with
Yeah.
you outside of like a work environment.
Right.
And also, I believe that it's a good networking tool for my clients
Mm-hmm.
because we have clients who are in all these cool
Yeah.
spheres in the DMV area, whether it be contracting or medical or legal, So I'm like, I
Yeah.
want people to make connections and to get to know each other. And for me, it's just fun to see everyone connecting and like people making friendships from my
Yeah.
client events. Like, I enjoy seeing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then kind of on the other side of things, how or what are some tips you have for people who are looking for the right realtor for them?
Yeah. I would say don't be afraid to ask for what you need or
Mm-hmm.
tell them what your expectations are. The realtor
Yeah.
will tell you what's really realistic or not.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to talk to multiple agents,
Mm-hmm.
and be upfront about it if you are. That would be my biggest advice. And yeah, just clearly express what your needs are. Yeah. And let them show you who they are
Yeah,
based on their
exactly.
response.
And then what has helped you stay motivated during, your more challenging seasons when things aren't always just like super stable?
Yeah. My faith is a big one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just having a firm foundation is really important. But outside of that, I think about my family.
Yeah,
And I think about the goals I have. Like I have things I want to accomplish in life
right.
for myself, like whether it be to travel or it be to invest in, a certain part of the world or in the
Mm-hmm.
DMV area. So those are my big things, my faith,
Awesome.
my family, and just my bigger goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping an eye on the bigger
Yeah,
picture.
exactly.
Yeah, and then for someone thinking about getting their real estate license, what do you think they should understand about the commitment required to actually build a lasting career?
Yeah, I would say this is not a business that is going to be built overnight. So commit to at least giving yourself 2 to 3 years to grow
Mm,
a sustainable business.
yeah.
I think most agents fell out of business, and I might get this stat wrong, like within the first 2 years. So, and I think it's primarily because there is not always enough closings within that first year
Mm-hmm.
to feel sustainable. So, my first thing is like, hey, if you are going to be doing this full time right at the gate,
Mm-hmm.
have savings.
Yeah.
Have at least 6 months to a year worth of your like expenses saved up. That way you're not stressed about finances. That's a big one. And then two, find a mentor that is doing what you want to do and
Mm,
shadow them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had a good mentor when you started out?
Not when I first started. I
Mm,
had a great broker who really got me focused on the contracts. But I think when I left that brokerage and then I decided to come back full time, I was seeking out mentorship, and it took me a long time to find it. And now I'm working with the person who was coaching me, my business partner, Kisa.
uh-huh.
Shout out to Kisa. But she was my coach, and she's probably a big part of the reason why I am where I am now because she helped me
Mm,
to realize where my business was coming from
yeah.
and to help me to lock in and to really focus on that.
And then do you think that it would have made a difference starting out to have a mentor?
100%.
Yeah.
I would be 10 times further had I found that out the gate. But,
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. So,
Right. I
yeah.
believe that too. And as Givens Group continues to grow, what are you most excited about for the future and the business?
Yeah, I'm most excited about really narrowing down on our client experience.
Mm,
That's the big part that I've been wanting to work on the most. Like, I want it to be a luxury experience no matter what price point my clients are at. I want it truly to be elevated. I want it to be like you're not going through this process stressed, although it can be stressful.
mm-hmm.
I want you to know that you have a team behind you that is in your corner
Yeah.
and just to know that you made the right decision choosing us to work with.
Mm-hmm. I love that because people will remember how you made them feel, even if
Yeah,
they don't remember like every
exactly.
little bit of the memory.
Exactly.
Yes. And for anyone looking to buy, sell, or connect with you to learn more about Givens Group, where can they find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, my IG is Christian G Realtor, and then the team page is givens.group or group.givens. I'm sorry, it's one of those two. I never know which one it is.
we'll, we'll
It will
find
be
it
on
and
the
put it in
screen,
there.
hopefully.
Thank you so much, Christian, for joining me on the
Thank you.
podcast and sharing your knowledge, passion, and inspiring story with us. I wish you the very best and all that comes your way in the future.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you're a business owner, founder, or entrepreneur, we would love to have you on the Alamon Show. Just go to alamonphotography.com/podcast, sign up to be featured.